Have you ever finished breakfast and felt strangely tired, shaky, or even hungrier just an hour later? Many older adults start their day with something as simple as a slice of white bread and a cup of black coffee or a glass of fruit juice, thinking it's light, quick, and maybe even healthy. But what if I told you that this common breakfast combination might actually be working against your body, especially after the age of 60? As we get older, our metabolism slows down, our insulin sensitivity decreases, and our body doesn't bounce back from sugar spikes the way it used to. That means what we eat in the morning matters more than ever. And surprisingly, the innocent pairing of white bread with black coffee or sweet fruit juice can send your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride, spiking, crashing, and leaving you feeling drained before the day has even begun. In this video, we'll break down exactly why these foods, when combined, can be harmful to your energy levels, your weight, and even your long-term health. More importantly, I'll show you what to eat instead to help stabilize your blood sugar, support your joints, and feel more energetic throughout the day. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. What happens to white bread in your body after 60? White bread may seem harmless, even comforting, especially when it's been part of your breakfast routine for decades. But after the age of 60, your body doesn't process it the same way it used to. Unlike whole grain bread, white bread is made from refined flour that's been stripped of most of its fiber and nutrients. This means it digests very quickly, turning almost immediately into glucose, a simple sugar that enters your bloodstream at lightning speed. For someone younger, the body might respond by producing insulin efficiently to balance things out. But as we age, our insulin sensitivity decreases and our ability to regulate blood sugar becomes less effective. So what happens? You eat white bread, your blood sugar spikes, and your body releases a surge of insulin to manage the flood of glucose. Then because the carbs from white bread are so quickly absorbed, your blood sugar crashes back down, often lower than it was before you ate. This crash leaves you feeling tired, irritable, lightheaded, and hungrier than you were before. It's like setting your body up for an energy trap. And if this kind of spike and crash cycle happens often, which it can if you eat white bread regularly, it begins to strain your metabolic system and can lead to long-term problems like insulin resistance, weight gain, and type 2 diabetes. For older adults, these effects are amplified. The natural slowdown in metabolism, the loss of lean muscle mass, and changes in hormone levels all make it harder for the body to recover from sharp changes in blood sugar. What's more, the lack of fiber in white bread means you're missing out on one of the most important nutrients for digestive health and blood sugar control. Fiber helps slow the absorption of sugars and supports healthy gut bacteria, both of which are crucial for aging well. In short, white bread may look innocent on your plate, but inside your body it can trigger a cascade of metabolic reactions that leave you feeling worse, not better. And when you combine it with certain drinks, which we'll cover in the next sections, it can set off even more dramatic shifts in your blood sugar and energy. Simple changes. That's why understanding what white bread really does to your body after 60 is such an important first step in taking back control of your health. Number 2, why black coffee on an empty stomach can spike stress hormones. Black coffee is often seen as a smart, calorie-free way to start the day. And for many, it's a non-negotiable part of the morning routine. But for those over 60, especially when consumed on an empty stomach and paired with white bread, black coffee can create a surprising hormonal storm inside your body. When you drink black coffee first thing in the morning, before having a proper meal, it can significantly increase cortisol levels, which is your body's primary stress hormone. While cortisol has its role in helping you wake up and feel alert, too much of it, especially in the morning, can lead to blood sugar spikes, increased heart rate, and feelings of anxiety or jitteriness. This becomes even more problematic when your body's already dealing with the sharp rise in blood sugar caused by white bread. In a younger person, cortisol and insulin can balance each other out reasonably well. But after 60, your body's stress response becomes more sensitive, and insulin function becomes less efficient. So now your body is not only trying to manage the fast sugar load from the bread, but is also being told, thanks to the coffee, to release stored glucose from the liver into the bloodstream, making your blood sugar climb even higher than it otherwise would. This double impact, refined carbs and a cortisol spike, can leave you feeling exhausted within hours. What feels like an energy boost from coffee and bread is actually a roller coaster. First, a surge of energy and alertness, followed quickly by a sharp crash in both blood sugar and mental focus. Many older adults mistake this crash for needing another cup of coffee or a snack, which just perpetuates the cycle of fatigue and poor blood sugar regulation. It's also important to remember that caffeine sensitivity increases with age, meaning your body may now react more strongly to the same cup of coffee that you used to handle just fine. You may notice symptoms like shaky hands, heart palpitations, or even lightheadedness, especially when drinking it without food. And when paired with high glycemic foods like white bread, those symptoms are magnified. That doesn't mean you have to give up coffee altogether, but it does mean that drinking black coffee on an empty stomach, especially alongside white bread, is a combination that can leave your hormones out of balance and your body feeling drained. A smarter approach is to eat a balanced meal with protein, healthy fats, and fiber before or alongside your coffee. This helps buffer the impact on your blood sugar and gives your body the nutrients it needs to stabilize energy and mood. So next time you reach for that cup of black coffee and slice of toast, pause and think, is this helping your body start the day strong or setting you up for a crash? Number 3, the sugar trap in fruit juice, even the healthy kind. Fruit juice is one of those foods that seems healthy on the surface. It's made from fruit after all. How bad could it be? But for people over 60, drinking fruit juice, especially when combined with white bread for breakfast, can create a hidden trap that sends your blood sugar and insulin levels spiraling. Even 100% juice without added sugars contains a high concentration of natural sugars, particularly fructose and glucose, without the fiber that slows absorption. That means your body absorbs those sugars almost instantly, leading to a rapid spike in blood sugar. When you pair that with white bread, which is already a fast-acting carbohydrate, the combination creates a double whammy. Your body is flooded with sugar from 2 sources at once, one from the refined starch in the bread and the other from the liquid sugar in the juice. This results in a sudden surge in insulin, the hormone your body releases to lower blood sugar. But the surge is so fast and so sharp that your blood sugar can crash soon afterward, leaving you tired, irritable, and hungry again. Over time, this pattern puts extra stress on your pancreas, which produces insulin and increases your risk for insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, conditions that are already more common in older adults. Another issue with fruit juice is that it bypasses the body's natural fullness signals. When you eat a whole piece of fruit, like an orange or apple, the fiber helps you feel full and slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream. But juice lacks that fiber. You could drink the juice of 3 oranges in a single glass and never feel full, yet still absorb all of that sugar. And unlike whole fruit, juice doesn't satisfy your hunger. When paired with white bread, which also lacks fiber and protein, this breakfast leaves your stomach feeling full for a short time, but your cells still starve for lasting fuel. Even so-called healthy juices, like fresh squeezed orange juice or organic apple juice, still contain more sugar than most seniors realize. A small 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 21 grams of sugar, the equivalent of more than 5 teaspoons. That's nearly as much sugar as some sodas. And while the vitamins in juice, like vitamin C, can offer some benefits, the sugar load tends to outweigh them, especially when it's part of a morning meal that already includes refined carbs. For seniors looking to reduce joint pain, control weight, manage blood sugar, or simply feel more energetic, fruit juice can quietly undo your efforts. Instead of reaching for juice, opt for whole fruits like berries or slices of apple or pear, paired with a source of protein or healthy fat, such as a handful of nuts. This combination not only helps stabilize blood sugar, but also keeps you fuller, longer, without the sudden crash that comes with juice. In short, fruit juice may appear to be a smart choice, but when combined with white bread, especially first thing in the morning, it can push your blood sugar into dangerous territory. For older adults working to stay energized, balanced, and healthy, this is one habit that may be worth rethinking. Number 4, the insulin roller coaster. Why you crash after breakfast. For many older adults, breakfast is a cherished routine. A slice of toast, a cup of coffee, maybe a glass of orange juice. It seems simple, harmless, and even energizing. But if that toast is made from white bread and the drink is black coffee or sweet fruit juice, you may unknowingly be setting yourself up for a day of exhaustion, irritability, and poor concentration. This happens because of a powerful biological reaction in your body called the insulin roller coaster, a cycle of spiking and crashing blood sugar that becomes increasingly dangerous as you age. Let's break it down. White bread is made from refined flour, which has been stripped of its fiber, protein, and most nutrients. When you eat it, your body digests it quickly, turning it into glucose that enters your bloodstream almost instantly. If you combine that with fruit juice, which is essentially liquid sugar, or drink black coffee on an empty stomach, which prompts your body to release more glucose from your liver, you now have 2 or even 3 sources of fast-acting sugar hitting your bloodstream at the same time. The result? A sharp and immediate rise in blood glucose levels. To handle this sudden spike, your body releases insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar out of your blood and into your cells. But the problem is, for many people over 60, insulin sensitivity has already declined, so your body may release too much insulin, or it may not use it as efficiently. Either way, the outcome is the same. After the sugar surge comes the crash. Your blood sugar drops, sometimes rapidly, leaving you feeling lightheaded, shaky, hungry, weak, or mentally foggy. You may feel like you hit a wall, even though the day has just begun. This roller coaster is more than just unpleasant, it's harmful. These constant ups and downs put stress on your pancreas, your adrenal glands, and even your nervous system. They can contribute to insulin resistance, which is the early stage of type 2 diabetes. And the crash can leave you feeling so depleted that you instinctively reach for another hit of sugar or caffeine, starting the cycle all over again. Over time, this leads to weight gain, particularly around the belly, increased inflammation, and a feeling that you're always tired no matter how much you rest. What makes this more serious for seniors is how it affects cognitive function and balance. After 60, many people already experience some degree of memory decline or slower reflexes. But when your blood sugar crashes, your brain doesn't get enough fuel, which can cause confusion, blurred thinking, and even loss of balance. For some, this can lead to serious falls or injuries. These crashes can also impact your mood. Many people report feeling irritable, anxious, or even a little depressed after their blood sugar drops. And all of this may be triggered by something as simple and familiar as your breakfast. The unfortunate part is that many people don't connect the dots. You might think you're feeling poorly because of poor sleep, age, or lack of energy, but really it's the wrong combination of foods pushing your system out of balance. The good news? You can change this. Instead of white bread, choose whole grains like sprouted grain toast or steel-cut oats, which digest more slowly and provide sustained energy. Replace sugary juice with whole fruits that contain fiber, and wait to drink your coffee until after you've eaten a meal with protein and healthy fat, like eggs and avocado. These changes may seem small, but they can completely transform the way your body reacts in the morning. So if you're tired of crashing before noon, ask yourself, is your breakfast fueling you or fighting you? That mid-morning slump might not be a sign of getting older. It might just be your body begging for better fuel. Number 5, how this combo impacts weight and belly fat. After 61 of the most frustrating things for many older adults is stepping on the scale and seeing the numbers go up, even when it feels like you're not eating more than usual. You might be having a light breakfast, maybe just a slice or 2 of white bread with some juice, or a quick toast and coffee, and yet your waistline keeps expanding, especially in the belly area. This isn't just about appearance. Belly fat after 60 can be a sign of deeper metabolic problems, and surprisingly, it's often driven by the kind of breakfast you start your day with. Let's be clear, white bread and sugary beverages like fruit juice, even the healthy kind, trigger a fat-storing response in the body that becomes more intense with age. When you eat white bread, your blood sugar spikes quickly. If you also drink fruit juice or black coffee on an empty stomach, which can cause stress hormone spikes or add more sugar, you create a perfect storm of hormonal reactions, the most important of which involves insulin. Insulin isn't just a blood sugar regulator. It's a fat storage hormone. Every time your body releases a large amount of insulin, it goes into storage mode, telling your body, save this energy as fat in case we need it later. After 60, your body becomes less efficient at using insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance, which means it has to produce even more insulin to do the same job. And what does that excess insulin do? It drives more fat into storage, particularly visceral fat, the dangerous kind that surrounds your abdominal organs. This isn't the harmless fat you can pinch with your fingers. Visceral fat is metabolically active, meaning it pumps out inflammatory chemicals that increase your risk for heart disease, high blood pressure, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. And it all can begin with a seemingly innocent breakfast. What's even more discouraging is that this process is silent. You won't feel it happening. You may just notice that your pants are fitting tighter, or that you've gained 5 or 10 pounds over the past few years without making any major changes to your diet. Many people blame aging metabolism, but the reality is it's often small daily habits, like eating white bread and drinking sugary juice, that lead to big changes over time. Black coffee on an empty stomach also plays a role here. While it doesn't contain calories or sugar, it can raise cortisol levels, especially in the morning. Cortisol is your stress hormone, and high cortisol over time also contributes to abdominal fat storage, especially when combined with elevated insulin. So now your body is getting two hormonal messages to store fat. One from insulin due to sugar and refined carbs, and one from cortisol triggered by stress or caffeine on an empty stomach. This explains why some people may feel like they're eating light but still gaining belly fat, or struggling to lose weight despite trying. It's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter and giving your body the right signals through balanced, blood sugar-friendly meals. The solution isn't complicated. Start by replacing white bread with whole grain or sprouted bread that contains fiber, protein, and slower digesting carbs. These help stabilize blood sugar and reduce insulin spikes. Swap fruit juice for water, herbal tea, or just whole fruit, which contains fiber and nutrients without the concentrated sugar. And try eating a protein-rich breakfast, like eggs, Greek yogurt, or nut butter on whole grain toast, before drinking coffee to help buffer the cortisol response and support more stable energy and appetite throughout the day. It's not about giving up all your favorites. It's about rethinking when and how you eat them, and choosing combinations that support your metabolism instead of sabotaging it. These small, intentional changes can help reduce belly fat, improve insulin sensitivity, and give you back control of your health, energy, and weight. No extreme diets required. After all, your body still wants to work for you. You just have to give it the right signals to do so. Number 6, better breakfast combos for stable energy and joint health. Now that we've uncovered how the combination of white bread and sugary drinks can wreak havoc on your blood sugar, insulin levels, and belly fat, especially after the age of 60, it's time to talk about the good news. You can absolutely enjoy breakfast and feel energized, full, and balanced with just a few simple swaps. Instead of starting your day with foods that spike and crash your energy, choose breakfast combinations that keep your blood sugar stable, support your joints, and leave you feeling satisfied for hours. First, let's talk about replacing white bread. A great alternative is 100% whole grain or sprouted grain bread. These contain fiber, B vitamins, and slow digesting carbs that help regulate blood sugar and keep insulin levels steady. You can top a slice with nut butter, avocado, or even a poached egg. These additions provide healthy fats and protein, which slow down digestion and help you feel full longer. And unlike white bread, whole grains actually support your gut health, which is closely linked to inflammation levels and even brain function. Next, instead of reaching for fruit juice, which is loaded with fast sugar and has little to no fiber, choose whole fruits. A few slices of apple, pear, or berries are excellent choices because they contain natural fiber that helps your body absorb sugars more slowly. Better yet, pair your fruit with healthy fats or protein, such as a small handful of walnuts or a scoop of Greek yogurt, to further slow digestion and avoid that sugar crash. This combo not only supports blood sugar control, but also helps reduce joint inflammation, thanks to the antioxidants in fruit and omega-3s in nuts. If you're someone who loves coffee, don't worry, you don't have to give it up. Just avoid drinking it on an empty stomach. Instead, have your coffee after eating a protein-rich breakfast. You can also add a splash of milk or unsweetened almond milk to reduce the acidity and cortisol-triggering effect of black coffee. And if you're sensitive to caffeine or already experiencing stress-related fatigue, consider switching to herbal teas like ginger or turmeric tea, which not only provide warmth and comfort, but also offer anti-inflammatory benefits for your joints. One of the best breakfast ideas for energy, blood sugar control, and joint health is a warm bowl of oatmeal made with rolled or steel-cut oats. Add a spoonful of chia seeds or flax seeds, a few slices of banana or berries, and top it off with a sprinkle of cinnamon. This combination is rich in fiber, omega-3s, and natural anti-inflammatories, perfect for reducing morning stiffness, supporting heart health, and keeping your energy steady through the day. For those who prefer savory breakfast, try a vegetable omelet with leafy greens like spinach or kale, mushrooms, and a slice of whole grain toast. This option is packed with protein, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory nutrients that support not just your metabolism, but also your joint and brain function. Plus, adding veggies early in the day sets a healthy tone for the rest of your meals. In short, the key to a better breakfast after 60 is about creating balance. You want to include protein, fiber, and healthy fats, and avoid sugar-loaded foods that give you energy only to take it away minutes later. By making smarter choices, choosing real whole foods that nourish your body, you'll find that your mornings feel lighter, your energy lasts longer, and your joints feel less stiff and more mobile. And most importantly, you'll start your day feeling in control, confident, and fueled for whatever lies ahead. Number 7, real stories. How simple changes help seniors feel better. There's something powerful about hearing the stories of real people. People just like you, who made small, realistic changes to their daily routine and saw surprising improvements in their health, energy, and overall quality of life. When it comes to breakfast and how it affects your body after the age of 60, these stories show that change doesn't have to be extreme to be effective. You don't need fancy supplements, restrictive diets, or a complete lifestyle overhaul. Sometimes it all begins with what you put on your plate and what you choose to leave off. Let's start with Mr. Joe, a 68-year-old retired mail carrier from Florida. For decades, his go-to breakfast was 2 slices of white toast with butter and a strong cup of black coffee. He believed he was doing the right thing by avoiding sugary cereals or pastries, but every morning around 10:30, Joe would experience what he called a weird crash. He described it as feeling like his energy was being sucked out, and sometimes his hands would shake or he'd feel anxious for no clear reason. His doctor noticed his blood sugar was swinging and warned him that he was developing insulin resistance. After watching a video about how certain food combinations affect older adults differently, Joe decided to make a simple switch. He swapped his white bread for sprouted grain toast, spread on some natural peanut butter, added a boiled egg, and delayed his coffee until after he had eaten. Within a week, the crashes stopped. Within 2 months, he had lost 8 pounds, reduced his waist size, and said he felt more focused and calm in the mornings than he had in years. Then there's Ms. Linda, 72, a retired teacher who lived with persistent afternoon fatigue. Her typical breakfast was orange juice and toast with jam, light and quick, as she put it. But by noon, she felt drained and often needed a nap. Her doctor recently mentioned that she was pre-diabetic, which came as a shock because Linda didn't consider herself an unhealthy eater. After learning about how juice spikes blood sugar quickly, especially without fiber, she switched her routine to a bowl of the steel-cut oats topped with blueberries and walnuts, and she replaced her morning juice with warm water and lemon. She said, "I didn't think it would make such a difference, but my energy stayed level all day. I didn't feel the need for a nap, and I even started walking more in the afternoon." Another story comes from Mr. Allen, 75, who had been gaining weight steadily around his belly despite eating light. His breakfast consisted of toast and juice, sometimes a banana and coffee, but he often felt bloated and sluggish throughout the day. After a routine checkup revealed rising triglycerides and borderline high blood pressure, he decided to revamp his mornings. Allen began eating 2 scrambled eggs with spinach, 1 slice of whole grain toast, and a small bowl of sliced apples with cinnamon. He started having green tea instead of coffee right away and saved his cup of coffee for mid-morning. After 3 months, he not only lost 12 pounds, but his doctor noted improvements in his blood pressure and blood sugar numbers. What all these stories have in common is not radical change, but intentional change. These individuals didn't starve themselves, skip meals, or follow extreme plans. They simply looked at what wasn't working anymore, namely the outdated habit of starting the day with refined carbs and sugar, and made better choices, and their bodies responded. They experienced steadier energy, less hunger, improved mood, and even better sleep. Many reported fewer sugar cravings and more control over their eating habits throughout the day. And these stories don't stop at just feeling better physically. Many seniors reported feeling mentally sharper and more in control of their routines. Ms. Linda, for example, said that since changing her breakfast, she's been able to concentrate longer on her favorite hobby, painting, without needing to stop for a snack. Mr. Joe mentioned he no longer fears running errands in the late morning because he no longer feels dizzy or anxious by 11 a.m. And Mr. Allen said he now enjoys morning walks with his wife again, something he had stopped doing due to feeling heavy and slow. These aren't fitness influencers or nutrition experts. They're regular people in their 60s and 70s who found out the hard way that some habits don't age well, but they also discovered that it's never too late to make a better choice, especially when it comes to something as simple and powerful as breakfast. So if you've been struggling with low energy, unexplained weight gain, or just feeling off in the mornings, maybe it's not your age. Maybe it's your breakfast. And like these folks, maybe your journey to better health starts not with something big, but with something as simple as choosing the right toast. Conclusion. As we wrap up this important conversation, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned and why it matters so much. For many of us, breakfast has been a routine for decades. A couple of slices of white bread, a hot cup of black coffee, maybe a glass of orange juice. It feels familiar, comforting, and easy. But after the age of 60, your body doesn't process these foods the way it used to. What once worked may now quietly contribute to blood sugar spikes, energy crashes, weight gain, and even more serious issues like insulin resistance, joint pain, or belly fat that won't budge. And yet so many people continue this habit every day, unaware that it may be doing more harm than good. The truth is, after 60, our bodies become more sensitive to sugar, refined carbohydrates, and hormonal imbalances. The combination of white bread with sweet drinks like juice, or even black coffee on an empty stomach, can send your insulin and cortisol levels into overdrive. That leads to sharp energy highs followed by sudden crashes, increased fat storage, especially around the midsection, and even inflammation that worsens arthritis and slows your metabolism. This pattern doesn't just affect your mornings, it can influence your entire day, from your appetite to your focus to your mood. But here's the good news. None of these outcomes are set in stone. Your body, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, is incredibly adaptable. When you give it the right fuel, it responds, often faster than you expect. By making a few thoughtful adjustments, such as switching from white bread to whole grains, enjoying your coffee after you've had a protein-rich meal, and replacing fruit juice with whole fruits or herbal teas, you can completely change the way you feel, think, and move throughout the day. And we're not just talking theory, we've seen this in real life. People just like you have made small changes and experienced big results. More consistent energy, reduced cravings, better digestion, improved sleep, sharper thinking, and yes, even a flatter belly. These aren't radical transformations fueled by expensive supplements or impossible diets. These are everyday people choosing smarter breakfast habits and seeing the rewards ripple across their health and happiness. Think of your breakfast not just as a meal, but as your body's first message to itself each day. Is that message one of chaos and sugar overload? Or is it one of balance, strength, and nourishment? The choice is in your hands, and even better, it doesn't require perfection, just awareness and consistency. So if you've been feeling tired in the morning, struggling with stubborn weight, or wondering why your focus fades by midday, it's time to look at what you're putting on your plate. And remember, it's never too late to start fresh. Your body still wants to support you. It just needs the right fuel to do its job. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope it empowered you with the understanding and motivation to make choices that truly support your health and vitality. If you found this helpful, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a friend, a spouse, or a neighbor. Let's help each other live better, feel stronger, and age with purpose, one mindful breakfast at a time. You deserve mornings that energize you, not drain you, and with just a simple changes, those mornings can start tomorrow. We really appreciate you spending time with us today. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a like and hit that subscribe button. It's a simple way to support our work, and it helps more people discover the tips they need to live healthier, happier lives. And if you want to stay up to date, just click the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. See you again soon.